be a part of any of those. I love that statement. Whenever you're building your business plan, it's like when you're trying to figure out who you are, that kind of encompasses everything, right? Both of those statements. So what a cool company we get to be in. Let's go ahead, and this was suggested we needed to add back in. So who's got buckets to fill? Can't, anybody?
I got a call this morning from somebody that I've been sending listings to for 2 years. Who said, now's the right time. I'm like, okay.
Love
So I'm
it.
showing property Saturday.
Love it.
right.
Awesome.
I saw her name come up and I'm like, oh. You have a good memory. I'm like, yeah,
Love
that's what it is.
I have one, and this is, I had a commercial referral and Wendy has worked with a good friend of mine for, gosh, probably the last year or so, to find a commercial kitchen and they just found it. So yeah.
Love it. What else? More.
So this is for, I'm just gonna say KW in general. Everyone has been so supportive as far as me being a solo agent and for transitioning to solo agent, and then also with, recovering from my brain injury, like you guys know already.
Love it. That's perfect. That is a culture that we need to have in this place. Yeah, guys, I love that. Awesome. I don't know if we're gonna beat that one. Is that cool? Yeah, awesome. So, I do want to touch on, and I'll have Susie stand up real quick, but at the end of this, we do have the Becoming More Book Club. Do you want to give them a quick spiel real fast?
Hi. So if you've seen it on the Facebook page, we are on the second week of this book called Becoming More. If you haven't read one page, it doesn't matter. We're gonna have discussion. You're gonna learn. It's so good. How many of you have taken Bold before? Okay, have anybody if you've not taken Bold, have you heard about Bold? So the author who put together, the founder of Bold, wrote this book called Becoming More. And so it's just got a lot of trinkets in it. It's really good. And we're discussing chapters 4, 5, and 6. Do you know that we all tell stories in our minds every day? You even go to sleep and you tell yourself stories while you're sleeping. And we're going to discuss a little bit about that today. It's just really good about mindset. So join us. If you have not gotten the book, they're $26 on Amazon. I'm selling them for $15, and then you get the free assessment. I think the assessment is $30, but that'll come along. I'll give that to you part of the $15. Okay? Can you
Awesome.
think anything else?
I can't think of anything else. That's right here.
When you're meeting, can you remind us? So today, we're meeting today at 2 o'clock here. Then we'll meet on the 21st, always on a Thursday. Most likely in Mount Pleasant, always on Zoom. And then we'll skip the 28th and go into January, and then go every Thursday at 2 o'clock until we're finished the book. So today, the 21st, and then, I think the 9th, I don't know, it's on, we'll make it on Facebook.
Perfect. We'll add that into the follow-up as well, follow-up email. If you haven't,
Thanks, guys.
if you don't know the story of Bold, Diana Kokoska saved the company in 2009 with Bold. Market centers were going out of style like you would have believed. Bold came in and drove production and drove profits for agents and the market centers and saved the company. Are we going into an exciting market next year?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have Bold coming in April, which is gonna be great, but this is gonna be the great launching pad. So if you haven't joined the book club, join the book club. If you haven't read the book, read the book. Awesome. Love it. So we are gonna get into production. And I want to ask for some energy here, guys, because I feel like we all just had pizza and some. So we've got our top individuals in Mount Pleasant. I don't want to read everybody's name, so if that's cool, if I can just get like a couple claps on each. Love it. Way to end the year, guys. The next group, West Ashley top individuals, keep it clap. Love it. Getting it. All righty, and we have top teams in Mount Pleasant. Love seeing it. We're gonna have a lot of competition next year. People are gonna keep pushing and going bigger, so I love it. And top teams in West Ashley. Love it. Yeah, shut down 209 million in Charleston.
Through November.
through November. And in all of Charleston, here are the top individuals so far for this year and this month. So love it. Keep it going. Virginia, 21 million by herself. That's awesome. And top teams for the year. Love it. Perfect. Husted and Livian are like $100,000 away. So we'll see how December ends. Pretty exciting. And we have our awards brunch, which we'll cover that more.
Save the date, but it's gonna be before family reunion. So that QR code right there has the Eventbrite if you want to go ahead and get registered. We'll also send it out in the email too. But it's February 8th. So mark your calendars before family reunion, which will be a good kickoff to the family reunion celebrations as
Yeah.
well.
Love it.
More info to come. too,
More
so.
info to come. And you get your bats. Tell me when everybody's got their QR codes down.
And if that bar needs to move.
Yeah.
Here, do you,
I don't.
do you know how to move? the bar?
Let's just give it a little.
No, no. Oh, good job.
Oh,
Thank you.
High your head is on the way.
I know.
mind the way. How about the Christmas party, by the way? I forgot to fill buckets. Kristen, thank you so much for putting together an awesome Christmas party. Awesome venue, awesome food. Everybody had a blast. So thank you so much for putting that together. If you guys don't know Kristen, like the 24 hours before a Christmas party, she's just like avoid her at all costs.
Yeah, it's all good. Probably best too.
Dude, all that greenery on the table, she just went to a forest and started cutting it. Like, I'm not kidding.
It was a golf course, but it's my mom's. We go and cut it
We
every
stay
year.
budget friendly.
Yeah,
Awesome.
profit share. Right.
So
Oh, click through.
the next slide. All right, I want to, we're at the end of the year. We've got a couple things we're gonna cover. We're gonna cover ALC, the next three sections of the team meeting, we're gonna spend some time on, so that's where your bulk is gonna be. We're gonna talk about goal setting. We're gonna talk about family reunion. And we're also gonna talk about ALC. So, I'm gonna start with the 10 questions. Who knows Jason Abrams? Awesome. Who knows Gary Keller? Okay, so Jason Abrams reports directly to Gary Keller, and they started talking about, we all just went to a business planning clinic 2 months ago, right? We all have our goals set up, and statistically speaking, on the 17th, 70% of us are gonna abandon those goals. So why is that? Why do we spend the last quarter of 2023 planning for 2024 to abandon it 17 days in the year? Well, Gary's thought is that we spend so much time focusing on this 1 year goal that we don't set these big, massive goals worth achieving. Right, so Gary says, let's go set a 10-year goal. Let's set a 30-year goal. What's our 20, 50-year wealth plan? We set these massive goals and then we work backwards. It's goal setting to the now, just in a different word, right? Because goal setting back to the now isn't working because we're still abandoning our goals on the 17th. So let's talk about it in a different way. So what Gary says is go build a massive goal because nothing worth achieving can be accomplished in a year. Right? We also say that you wouldn't raise your kid and set a goal for how you're going to raise him for 12 months and then say, see how it goes after that, right? It's not how it works. You begin with the end in mind. What do I want my kid to look like? How do I want my kid to talk? What do I want for them? You end with that and then you're constantly checking in. So Gary has 10 questions that he asks himself at the end of every year. And these are the questions. And we're gonna sit on it for a little bit, so I'll let you guys write them. I didn't want to take a photo because I want you guys actually writing these down. Okay, so the first question he asks is, who are you? Right, because you're gonna build this 10-year goal, right? And at the end of every year, one, you have to make sure your activities are in line with that goal, but you also have to do an inward look and say, am I still in alignment with that goal? Is that goal still who I want to be? Does that make sense? So who are you? That's the first question he asked. I'll give you a couple of Gary's answers. And his is that he's a small part of a big universe. And he's a spiritual being having a physical experience. And I've heard him say that. Has anybody heard him say that before? I never understood what the heck he was talking about. I was like, that makes no sense. That's billionaire talk. But the way it was described to us is that he is a physical being having a spiritual experience, meaning that his whole, everything is eternal, right? He's going for the eternal. And then if he focuses all of his energy and his time on this physical presence, he'll lose track of what's actually important. So he remembers that he's so small in this, and he focuses that who am I at the end? Who am I at the beginning, through it all? Now, if I focus on this now in this physical short stint, I'll lose track of what the real goal is. So that's who Gary is. The next question that they ask, are we good with that question? That was only 3 words.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question he asked is, what do you believe? What are your core beliefs? His is that anything is possible and everything can be solved. Right? So what are your core beliefs? And you don't have to answer them right now, right? Jason, when he was telling us this, says that Gary spent an entire day on this. Jason spent an entire day on this, and he was only able to answer 4 of them. Right? Like, these aren't quick answers. It's not, I'm a dad, right? That's who you are, yes, but it's got to go deeper than that. Awesome. We go with that question number 3. Question number 3 is, what motivates you? And then he also talks that motivation will eventually turn into habit. And then you're no longer motivated. So what's motivating you? Does that make sense? Yeah. So every year we have to review what is motivating us. For the next question, why do you guys work so hard? None of you chose an easy industry. Question number 4, why do you work so hard? None of you chose an easy industry. We all got in because it was going to be freedom. And what do we not have if we don't manage it well?
We don't have freedom if we don't manage it.
Exactly. So why are you guys working so hard? Why did the 40 people in this room choose an industry that is commission-based?
Unlimited income.
Unlimited income? But what motivates you behind that? And why do you work so hard? Who's ready for question number 5? We good? Question number 5 is, when is enough enough? And Gary says that enough can never be enough of certain things. Time with my family, money that I can provide to other people. When is enough enough? Gary's got all the money in the world. He's got the biggest ranch in Texas. He's got everything he could personally want. So why is he still going after? Why is he still going after more? The good it can do. Money's good for the good it can do. So when is enough enough? Number 6, what do you want or need control over? This year, what do you want or need control over? Is this time? Could be your finances, could be your business, could be your health. What is something that you want or need control over? Number 7 is, what do you fear? They use the word buyer's remorse as an example of when we give it a name, it's not scary anymore. So when we're talking to our clients and they get nervous at like the final hour and we're just like, oh, you're just having buyer's remorse. They're like, oh, you're right, I'm not scared anymore. Right? So what do you fear? Give it a name to make it less scary. Awesome. Number 8. What regrets are you trying to avoid? I'll use Jason Abrams' story that I thought was really powerful. He talked about his son was 5 years old, and the first 5 years of his life, he was on the road 300 days a year. And he went to his son's teacher, whatever you introduced. This is my kid, my mom, my dad. And he said, this is my mom, and she builds houses, and she's the best mom in the entire world, and all these things. And she said, this is my dad. He's an airline pilot. Like, I wasn't. Right? And then he's funny. If you haven't heard Jason Abrams talk, he goes, and I'm in a classroom full of 5-year-olds. So what do? I told them the plot to Top Gun. But I got home and he said, I got to change that. But then he looked back and said, last year, I moved to Austin, Texas 6 years ago to work for KWRI. And last year, he says, I've seen my parents 3 times in the last 6 years. And he said, if you don't revisit your regrets, you're going to repeat them. He just did the same thing. He hadn't seen his son. He didn't revisit that regret, and now he's not seeing his parents. So what regrets are you trying to avoid? Because if you don't revisit them, you're going to repeat them. He also said this in that real estate agent, that being a realtors are what you guys are. It's not who you are. It's what you guys do to make money. Okay. So if you look at number 1 as who you are, you're real estate agents, but that's not who you are. It's what you do to make a living. And number 9, how are you bringing meaning to your life? How are you bringing meaning to your life?
What are you gonna put deep?
Because I think, no, I think that's a fair question because it is deep, but it's when you're setting these big goals and these crazy goals, you got to have a reason as to why the hell you're doing it. Right? Because I'll go into this. If we're on time. What time does this end?
You're good.
Buckle up.
Uh,
Because I got 10 pages of notes I'll share with you guys. So how do you bring meaning to your life? Number 9. And the last question he asks himself is, who are you in the end? Who are you in the end? The question that really hurt, they asked when they were talking about who are you at the end, he said, you'll be remembered by how you behaved, not how you wanted to behave. So who are you in the end? And just another quote that they gave us was, nothing great ever came from natural behavior. Right? You gotta do something different. Nothing great ever came from natural behavior. Let's go through this real quick just to see if I can get, I'm gonna add a couple good things. What do you think about those questions, right? They're awesome. There has to be a reason why we're doing this. And how many houses do you want to sell? They talked about motivation. That was the thing I was going to bring up. Let me find this in 2 seconds. There are 3 types of motivation. And I will find it for you guys. And you guys will be like, that makes sense. That's why we need this list. Because we are struggling to find it. Okay, so 3 types of happiness. Okay. This is why we need to have the whole thing. There are 3 types of happiness. The first type is conditional happiness, right? I'll be happy when I make a bunch of money. I buy the house. I buy the boat. I get the necklace. I get engaged. I'll be happy when. And you need that. You guys need conditional happiness, but the more times you build up conditional happiness, the shorter that window is of how long it makes you happy for. Does that make sense? Right? So conditional happiness is one type of happiness. Enjoy them, but they're fleeting. The second type of happiness is just being a happy person, a happy disposition. This is a choice. Right? Control your emotions. They use the example that if you haven't seen, Gary just he woke up yesterday and he owes $5.4 billion. That's not thrilled about that. But if you see his disposition, he's still a happy person. Right? Just because there's things he's not happy about, but his disposition is a happy person. And in the end, they're happy at the end. They talked about a book called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. And the number 1 regret they had was they were living somebody else's life. Thousands of people, they were living for somebody else in a relationship. They were living for another boss. They were living somebody else's life. So those 3 types of happiness, make sure you have those. Are you going to be happy at the end? Are you happy? Do you have a happy disposition? And understand it's okay to want nice things. Okay, enjoy them, but understand that they're fleeting.
What was the third?
you're happy at the end.
Oh.
Meaning that you're not living with regrets. You're living for yourself and not somebody else's life. I hope this helped. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's see if there's anything else I want to touch on for you guys. Maybe we can get something less deep. Does that work? Okay.
You deliver it well with the hat then.
Do I? Awesome. So let's we'll dive into the, there's a real, I will say, if you guys haven't heard, Gary Keller's, I'll let you guys vote. Do you guys want me to take 5 minutes and talk about how Gary, Jason, Mark King and all of them distribute their money?
Yeah.
I've not practiced this, so I'm just gonna take what I did, if that's cool. Do you guys want that? And then we'll dive into the panel. Awesome. So this is how they distribute their money. And he said, Jason said, I know 3 billionaires. This is how they all handle their money. They have 3 accounts. Their first account is the biggest box they have. Okay, and this is their wealth coordination account. Okay. And all their money goes here. That makes sense? I get a check, that check goes into my wealth coordination account. Then they have 2 other accounts. The first account is this is the safe account. What this is, what's really cool about these guys is this, tell me if I'm wrong, Mike was just there, so help me if I'm butchering this, but, what I like about them is they're not talking about budgeting. What is your lifestyle spend? Because I'm not asking you to reduce your lifestyle, because you enjoy living that. So what is your lifestyle spend? So say it's $10,000 a month. And for you guys to feel comfortable, you need 6 months saved to enjoy your lifestyle, not for you to cut expenses, but for you to enjoy your life, because money is good for the good it can do. And some of that good it can do is buying new shoes.
Yes.
So we have our safe account. So for some of you, it might be 12 months. Some of you it might be 6 months. Some of you it might be 3 months. It totally depends on your risk tolerance level. Okay, we got that. So we have our safe account. The next account we have is our consumption account. Right? So my monthly spend is $10,000. So at the first of every month, how much money goes in here?
$10,000.
$10,000. And then there's just a drain and all that money goes out for you guys to enjoy your lifestyle. We got that? Every month, $10,000 goes in. I'm not asking you guys to cut your lifestyle. If that's a season of life you're in, cut your lifestyle. Okay? That's not the season you're in. Enjoy it. Enjoy the money that you guys worked hard for. And this is your burn rate, your actual spend, nothing like that. Okay, this is the in case of emergency break glass. So we all understand the 3 accounts that they have. Cool. They have 1 more account. So right here. You guys know what that is? That is the IRS. Yeah.
They had 3 accounts.
They have the 4th account, which is the IRS account, which we're gonna take, and that will come from the wealth coordination account where we're putting our portion away. The reason this account is separate for them is because if we're going to Brett Tanner, how much are we all paying in taxes on average right now?
A lot.
38%. How much should we be spending legally? 0%. Okay, so right here is 38%. This is the goal. Can we legally spend $0 in taxes? We can. We can buy more real estate, we can cost save, we're kicking things down the street. Go to Brett Tanner, he's much more intelligent than I am. But there are ways for us to spend $0 in taxes. Enjoying our life and investing in our wealth in the future for our kids. Cool? Cool. Awesome. So here's everything else. And this is where you guys are gonna start to do yours. Here is every way you're making money. These are all of your income sources. So you've got your real estate team. You've got real estate. You've got profit share. You've got rental properties. All of the sources that you have, and each source is 1, right? So if you've got 123 Main Street, we're not lumping all of our rental properties into one box. It's 123 Main Street, 234 Main Street. They all go there. How many different ways are you guys getting paid? Does that make sense? Cool. Ultimately, we want to increase the number of ways we're getting paid. Agree?
Yes.
How many ways should we get paid? As many as freaking possible.
Yeah.
Simple as that. 7 is the healthy number, whatever. I don't care, 500. Get paid as many ways as you possibly can. Make as many of them.
When they say 7, because I was thinking like, okay,
Yeah.
7 means all the rentals, but it could be, like, it could be 123 Main Street, 124.
Exactly.
Okay.
As
all right.
many properties as you possibly
But it
like.
doesn't count as one.
Each one counts as one
Like it.
because it's a separate business. You have a rental portfolio, but each one is paying you separately,
Okay.
right? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Perfect. So they all flow into here. All that money comes directly into here. So we have our wealth coordination account. If we are not in a position where we have our 6 months saved and we can't invest our consumption rate, what do we have to do? Our money goes into our wealth coordination account, distributes to our consumption account, and all excess flows into our safe account. Does that make sense? Cool. So once we hit that 6 month safe account and say our burn rate is $10,000. So we've got 60 grand in here and we just made $11,000. What happens? So we move $10,000 to our consumption account because that's our monthly spend rate. And we've got our first $1,000 in our wealth coordination account. Right? Now we do that the next month. And all cream goes into the wealth coordination account because you've got your savings. You've got your burn rate, all excess flows into the wealth coordination account. We agree? Now, we pick our avatar. How are we spending our money? What are we buying? Right? Some of you might like stocks. I don't think so because you guys are all real estate agents. You guys should be investing in real estate. So what does your property looks like? So it's a $200,000 house that you're putting $40,000 down. So when you hit $40,000 in your wealth coordination account, what do? You go buy a real estate property and you add a new box. And what's really cool here is that we just added another source of income. So what's going to happen? Our wealth coordination account is going to fill up faster. Does that make sense? And we're compounding that wealth coordination account. We're adding more streams of income. What's so great about this is when you're talking to your spouse or yourself, or if you're by yourself, you know your trigger. I hit 40 grand, I buy a house. I hit 40 grand, I buy a house because that's the wealth plan you guys have set for yourself. I hit 40 grand, I buy a house. I hit 40 grand, I buy a house. You're safe here. So you're not worried about is this investment going to hurt me? Because I have my money here. I'm filling up my consumption account every month. Because what happens, let's just paint this picture, wealth coordination account. Or we only make 9 grand 1 month because we're commission based. Well, what happens? Are we pulling from the safe? No, we're pulling from the wealth coordination account to give us our $10,000. Does that agree? Do we agree with that? But once we hit that, we just keep growing and we keep growing and we know our triggers to buy more property. We know our triggers to invest more money. Does that make sense? Now, the ultimate goal is deal flow. We have so much money in our wealth coordination account that the only reason we're not investing fast is because we don't have enough deals. That's the ultimate goal. How we get that is by managing our money this way, adding more boxes of income streams, compounding those income streams, and buying more real estate. What's really cool about this industry, guys, is what? We get to decide how much money we freaking want to make. The path is in the math. I want to make $250,000. Great. Here's how many people have to talk to. I want to fill up my safe account and I want to buy my first property. Great. How much money do you need to make? Great. How many people do you need to talk to? So look at this for you guys. And what does it look like for you in 10 years? I'm going to paint a picture for you guys really quick. Would we say that after I buy one rental property, if I bought one rental property today, this year, can I buy 2 next year? Right? Like, can I double the amount of properties I buy every single year? Would we agree with that?
Yeah.
I learned how to buy 1. I can know how to buy 2. If I bought 2, that's a duplex, guys. I'm talking doors. So if I bought one rental property, I could probably buy a duplex next year, right? In the following year, would you guys agree? I bought one duplex, I've got 3 doors, I could probably buy 2 duplexes the following year. And I could continue to double because we've learned it, our interest account, our wealth coordination account is compounding, we all agree, right?
Yep.
So in 11 years, if you just double the properties that you buy, I start with 1 this year, I buy 2 the next year. I buy 4 the next year, doors, not talking single family properties, I'm talking doors. In 11 years, you guys will have 1,000 doors. That's pretty freaking cool. Would we agree with that? So start with 1, build that. And how do I buy 500 doors, guys? Go buy an apartment complex. That's 11 years down the road. You don't need to know how to do it now. In 11 years, you guys can learn how to do it. Because you guys all just agreed, if I learn how to buy a single family, I can learn how to buy a duplex. If I learn how to buy a duplex, I can probably figure out how to buy a 4-unit. We agree? You take that, now your net worth of your family is $250 million. Paid off. Put that in a trust account. You think anybody in your family name is ever hurting again? No, and it's because you guys decided to make a choice this year to buy 1 property. And 2 the next. And now nobody with your last name is ever hurting for generations and generations to come. And it's put in a trust and they can't sell it, and now nobody's ever paid taxes on it. But you guys got all the tax benefits early. Does that sound cool? Awesome. I hope this was beneficial. Brett Tanner does a 2-day thing on it. And he also has 8 weeks to wealth. Plug into it. It's the best stuff. Brett?
I'll just wait with it.
Oh.
Continue.
I went to Brett Tanner's wealth thing. Thought I was like, I kind of got a little bit of it figured out. And I walked in and I walked out feeling like the dumbest person in the room. So go to it. He's gonna check you real quick. Mike, I think we went to it together. He's gonna give you a 500 question thing and you're just filling this out. It's like, I have so much more to learn. So plug into Brett Tanner's wealth thing, because that's what you guys are doing. I don't want anybody in this room to be the last dollar they make when they pick up the last sign. And if you start now, in 11 years, invest in wealth, nobody in your family with your last name ever hurts. Cool? Set a big goal, answer those questions who you are. 2024 will be a great first start. Love it. Awesome. Now let's talk about family reunion, since I've taken a lot of your guys' time. Family reunion panel is Celeste, Mike, and Trad. Woo! Woo!
I think the pizza sitting.
What?
It is, I know everyone.
Let's all stand up. Shake your neighbor's hand. What is it they say at the Catholic Church?
Oh.
Stand up.
I'm guessing it's, I don't know.
Sign of peace, everybody, shake each other's hands. It's good to meet you. If you don't know I'm not kidding, let's introduce each other.
Hey, how you doing?
I need the pizza to not settle. If you don't know each other.
Everybody had like
15 seconds.
everybody had like 8 slices, so.
I know, 10 seconds. We'll dance. Hey, you guys want chairs? We're not gonna stand up for more than 10 minutes.
You want to make a Renee.
5-10 minutes. All right, 5 seconds. Everybody's moving. Everybody's happy. We're excited. We're dancing.
Are we dancing?
We're dancing.
Do dance.
We'll do the Y4C2Ts dance.
Yeah.
Win-win or no deal. Yeah. All right, I'll have everybody sit if that's cool, or focus on them. So who's been to family reunion? Who's been to family reunion? Awesome. Who's going to family reunion already? Cool. Why do we go to family reunion? Start with Brad and we'll work our way down.
So the biggest thing for me, coming from, not KW, I had never been to anything like family reunion or mega camp before. So it was a little, shocking at first. I didn't really know what to do, but, what I've found over the last 3-4 years, I guess, is I'm there to meet other people. The first year I went, everybody was like, oh, are you gonna come and have dinner with us? I'm like, no, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in Charleston. I'm gonna go hang out with these random people that I've never met before that can actually send me business. So that was my biggest focus after I figured out that I could not retain everything they were teaching. So pick a handful of classes, go to that and then network the rest.
Love it. Celeste?
Same, honestly, relationship building, the classes are great. It is a lot of high level information. The rooms that you're in are really great. You know, we are so fortunate here to be, I mean, you guys are so amazing. But it's nice too that this room exists all over the country too, because of Keller Williams. And so it's nice to have those conversations and experiences together.
I mean, it's not.
Let's
it's not-
talk, right?
Right. I think the way I tend to look at family reunion is, well, let me ask the question first. For most of you, would you agree that your clients tend to like houses that are completed versus houses that are under construction? In terms of looking at them and understanding what they see.
Yeah.
I look at family reunion as a completed home. I look at what we get every day here as a home that's under construction. While it's nice, right? Like when you go to family reunion, you see everything that the company has to offer, the things that you've heard about, the things that you've promised, the things that you expect. It's all there, right? So you get to see it all in action. Which then helps you when you get back here to kind of know how to implement certain things and do certain things. Some of the greatest relationships I've made in this company are the people I've met. That's the reason why I go year after year. I think this will be 13 for me. So, I will never not go. You go to family reunion and I'm not there, just know there's something.
You also won't see like them. They're gonna like,
Nobody's there, but I never see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're here, then.
yeah. And that's great. And that's, I mean, we want to see your guys' faces. We want to be around you, but we also know that nobody in this room is going to send you business. So, I mean, there are people like Holly Reese, I found out went to family reunion like 2 days ago, last year. It's like, I didn't see her once. And that's great. I mean, yes, we want to see you guys, but I get to see you every day. Right? So, well, that was the biggest culture shock when I moved down here, my last, office, we were always together. Yeah, always together. We went to dinners together. We went to breakfast together. We reviewed. And then I come here, I'm like, you guys are getting deals from family reunion? How'd you do that? And I'm like, well, we did talk to the people at our office. So, oh, that makes sense. So I think what, I would say that when you go to family reunion, build a plan on how many people you're gonna talk to. Do you guys do the, I know the answer, but do you guys go out there with like signs that say scan me, or how do you guys build those relationships?
So last year I tried to be more purposeful and then I screwed up my Calendly link because I put it on East Coast time instead of Central time for mega camp. So that was fun. So I had like a bunch of meetings lined up and then it all got messed up. But, so that's what I've been doing. So like, it takes a little bit of preparation. The last thing I want to do is bring a bunch of crap with me. So I did make shirts one year that had like a QR code on the back. But then I wore my backpack the entire time. So you do that, put it on the front, cause you know, live and learn. But, so, you know, I had a shirt that had like, the state of South Carolina and a little star where I was, you know. I think that if you know no one, that's great. If you already have like a little group that you're gonna hang out with, it's gonna grow. And that's kind of what I've seen over the last 4 years.
Would you say communities help you in that?
Oh,
getting to know
yeah.
People?
Yeah, I mean, KWYP, so I think we've talked about this before. I don't know about everybody, but when I joined in 2019, went to Bold, joined KWYP, went to Mega Camp, all within like 4 months. So it was a lot. But knowing that I'm a cheap ass and wanted to spend as little money as possible on a hotel or whatever, there was 20 people that had an Airbnb. And there was like $200 or $300 for the whole week. And so I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We still have a group chat on Facebook from 2019 with a majority of those people in it. We've added, we've subtracted, whatever. But like, that was like the catalyst and the jumping off point to starting to talk to other people and getting into other groups and doing other stuff. So I mean, it's been really good. And I've got relationships from that I will have for a lifetime. And there's business opportunities outside of referrals that are coming from that too. So I'll let y'all know more in 2024.
Love it.
At that, Holly Reese said in the chat, she did air fresheners one year.
Okay, so she gave out air fresheners.
Yeah. I don't
Love
know. Yeah.
Anything. I mean, get your name out there. So that's how did you get to know people?
So, last year I handed out cookies. I did not take into consideration how the volume and how much 1,000 cookies weigh. So there's a lot of, I mean, that was very expensive too. I did get a ton of feedback from that, though. It was something a lot of people weren't doing. I'm not doing that again this year. This year I'm doing it a little bit differently. So I bought the ticket that's like the crazy ticket where you can do the meet and greet with Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins and the CEO summit, and being in a, again, it's just being in a different room, being, you know, with people that are really invested in their businesses on such a crazy level. And so I'm trying to do it a little bit different this year. I've done I mean, you can go have a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun in Charleston. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to do it though. So, but yeah, the relationships are huge. I would not recommend tugging around 30 pounds of cookies every day.
They were left though.
They were.
They were very loud.
Honest to God, I didn't have a single one. I didn't know. you had
Oh my
cookies
gosh,
given out.
everybody was so excited when they gave her, because she gave them.
Concierge brought up like 4 boxes like this, and so on top of a small shared hotel room, I was like, here's all my extra stuff.
I think I've seen over the years there are two different schools of thought when it comes to how you meet people. I've seen some people that show up, and they give out business cards to everybody that they walk past, or they give out something to every single person. You're probably walking past like 10,000 people a day, so to me, that never really made much sense. But what I've been able to do is just kind of, I met a small group of people my first go around. Those people helped me grow the group of people that I meet the next year, which grows to a larger group of people the next year, right? So you get the picture over 10, 12 years, like, that's a lot of people. So I don't really spend much time with like everybody.
It doesn't affect, it
But
does
I-
not offend us. We like.
But I
go
spend,
be with
well,
other
not
people.
even
Yeah.
the market center, but just
Oh.
like the big 10,000 person events, I don't really. I might stick my head in for like 30 minutes and then I'm
He's going
gone.
outside of the door, actually.
I do.
That's what.
Like, I listen to the good stuff and then somebody that I know walks up, a group of 3, 4 people, and then we go off somewhere. Last couple of years, I've hosted like a mastermind dinner, for like 20 people. So I kind of put it out there a few weeks before, people sign up, they pay for themselves. I just tell them where to come, when to come. And that's kind of my mastermind group for that particular event. So,
And people are looking for community there, guys. Right? Any questions?
Is
Lila?
there a list ahead of time
Or
of people attending where we can reach out?
there's like
to?
25,000 people,
Yeah.
but there are, yeah,
Well,
there's
like
Facebook
local
groups.
ones, Yeah.
So we'll have the local list. So how we'll do family reunion, Kristen will handle all of that. And you'll get to know everything that's going on and know before you go, and we'll have one dinner.
Isn't there a
Happy hour.
Happy
Facebook
hour.
group for the family reunion and a Facebook group for mega camp, like for the
Yeah.
whole company?
Yes.
Okay, so I would just do that, and then what I did one year is,
2024.
Yeah.
and what I did one year, and this was
Oh, okay.
absolutely by accident, like you're talking about being purposeful about a dinner. I was like, hey, we should all do karaoke or a piano bar or something in Orlando. And I was like, who's in Orlando that can tell us where to go? And they're like, oh, the Wolf Pack or whatever the heck the thing was called. And then I was like, all right, everybody go there. And then like people were coming up, you planned this? I was like, yep, sure did. I had nothing to do with it. Just suggestions.
And I'll add one more thing. I mean, I know we talked a lot about the networking part of it. Like, there is a lot of education.
Yes.
that
Yeah.
happens. So, I don't want you guys to think that like there's none of that. However, when you've been a few times, it's
Well, and
not
Your
much of it
focus
to do.
turns
And
to
the other thing too is that's what I was kind of saying, there's so much that you can learn, your brain will turn to mush, so like. Pick out like 4 or 5 things that you really want to go do, and then you'll probably hear about some other stuff that you want to do too, but. Pick those 4 or 5, so you're not overloaded with that, and you can focus on. Having conversations with people and deepening those relationships you already have, but I mean, like. I came from 100% brokerage with 0 agent-to-agent referrals. This year we'll close out about 165,000 DCI just from agent-to-agent referrals. So like, it works.
So
You just have to put in the time.
So the investment to family reunion, it's not hurtful.
No, no, it's, the ROI is ridiculous.
I was just gonna add, like, when you're, especially if this is your first time there's a general agenda that has, like the main sessions and that there are breakouts, whatever, and there are 6 breakouts for this particular session. They haven't released that schedule yet, but like when you're planning out your family reunion, like plan it out now, because if you don't, you're gonna get so overwhelmed with all the things that there are to do. I mean, there's, at any moment, you can be in 100 different places.
Yes.
And so, like, that's the thing I would say, take the time now to kind of plan out what you want to do and have a backup, because there's a good chance that the breakout you want to be in is going to be full. So have a plan B for that time slot.
And plan out who you want to meet. Go on that Facebook group.
Yes,
Who are the people that are crushing X?
that or something that you want to know or want to know how to do.
Let's meet for coffee here
Yeah.
and then talk.
Yeah, cause trying to do it when you're there is, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's just, you're too overloaded
You're
there.
behind the curve
I
at this point.
started working with my productivity coach last month on a list of who I want to meet, like personally, who I want to meet in business, what questions I want answered personally and in business, and trying to, and that sounds easy, but it's actually really not. So like, I hope to have that done by the time I'm bored.
And for the value of it, I don't know how much it costs, but a Tony Robbins ticket? It's gonna cost you $1,000.
Oh, for sure.
Well, how much? $2,300 for a Tony Robbins
For Tony
ticket.
Robbins.
For Mel Robbins, it's probably the exact same.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go hear the 2 most renowned speakers
For less than $1,000.
for less than $1,000. You can't beat that. I hope everybody is there. I would love a massive KW Charleston group. We will, like I said, we will have a happy hour there. If you have other questions about family reunion, let anybody on this group know. Build your plan now.
Can I say something?
Please, if you guys. have-
There is an app called KW Events that's very helpful during that time. That's my tip to you guys to use. And then also when you're there, if you guys want to look at networking events, you can also get on Eventbrite for like, say, we're gonna be in Vegas. So for Vegas, and you can find which are networking groups with KW agents and get registered through
Yeah,
there.
because a lot of the other like communities and stuff will have Eventbrite stuff. And so
Yeah.
just search Keller Williams or KW and
Yeah.
Eventbrite, and you'll probably find 100 other options
Yeah.
too.
And let's use the people in our office that are resources. Raise your hand if you are going to family reunion and involved in at least one community. So if you are going to family reunion and looking to go, we're starting, any of the people with their names, their hands raised, we'll point you in the right direction. Sound cool? I hope to see you guys all there. Awesome. Thank you guys for doing it. Yep.
No, sorry.
The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna introduce our ALC.
And I'll send you my.
Do we need to stand up and shake hands again? Okay, cool. So the last thing that we're gonna do is our ALC. ALC stands for Agent Leadership Council. Would we say that we're going into a rough year?
No.
We're
No.
going into an interesting.
We're going into an interesting year and an exciting year.
Lots of lawsuits.
It's not gonna be boring.
Okay.
Correct.
Lots of lawsuits.
And Keller Williams is gonna be the safe harbor. And these individuals are going to be leading us through it, okay? So your Agent Leadership Council is 13 individuals who are agents in there who are going to be pouring into you guys at a high level this year. We're, if you don't know, Agent Leadership Council has committees, right? We have YP nationally, we have YP locally, and then we have local communities. Right, so we're going to be starting those communities back up. I think there are 6 or 7 of them, and they're each gonna come up and introduce themselves. You guys are going, I asked that you guys join those committees if they're gonna present what they're gonna be doing or a little bit about them. Go ask them more questions. They'll be meeting however frequently they decide to meet. And they're gonna be pouring into the agents. You guys are gonna be learning leadership skills. You guys are gonna be getting to have a say in the market center, because guess what? This is your market center. Right? The agents, we work for you guys. You guys don't work for us, so we work for you. So you guys tell us what you want, and that's what these committees are gonna be all about. Sound cool? Awesome. So the first one we are going to do is We're gonna go over the education committee, headed by,
You should start with culture.
well, I'm going down my list, it'll throw me all off. Great.
He's in, they're all off.
John and Mike are gonna be running this committee, guys.
I'm sorry, stop kicking you and everything.
If I can get you guys to real quick, just introduce yourself and say how long you've been with KW.
Sure.
And then go on to your committees.
Hi, all, I'm John. I've been with KW since 2014 in March. And this is my good friend Mike. Mike, been with KW 17 years now. This is my 7th year on ALC. This is probably my 3rd year on the ALC. 3rd or 4th, I can't remember. 4th, thank you. It's been a few years. So education committee, I'm huge into education. The reason being is when I came to this company, I was doing about 2 million in sales. I went through Bold, went through a lot of the classes, had a lot of accountability, and I did like 7.5 million in 9 months. And so that point just kind of was like, all right, just continue to build my business over the last 10 years to where I kind of brag a little bit, like my goal is to go home by 2 o'clock every day. Like, I don't have to go home at 2, but my goal is to go home at 2 o'clock every day so I can do my business and be home with my children. So that is something I've been advocating since 2020, basically. But the reason I do that is because I've gone through so many classes, I've attended to so many family reunions, mega camps, things that I brought back and implemented into my business. And for you guys, I'd love to see that same thing kind of happen. And so I'm gonna probably send out an email, me and Mike, to the whole MCs, and just kind of get some questions like, what do you guys really want to see in where your business is? Because I've been doing this long enough, 17 years in the business. Mike's been with this company as long as I've been in the business. So like, we have our own ways of doing things. And I started my business from cold calling, right? And I've done all that stuff. I don't do that anymore. I will if I have to. I told Owen that the other day. I will if I have to, but I don't have to right now, so I won't do it. But like, there's a lot of ways to go about getting business. And there's so many different ways that we can teach you and show you. So what do you guys want from us on that committee? And I want you to join the committee to help me bring that about to our market centers. Because without education, you know, we're all lost up a stream with no paddle. And the more you learn, the more you earn. So, you know, let's just try to bring back something that we can get into. And I really want to see people in the market centers, because there's so much information that gets passed along when you're in there. I mean, I'm in there every day, and there's so many conversations between me and Mike or Anton, and I learn about deals that you might not be privy to. We can maybe figure something out. There's just stuff that's going on. So we can get you guys back in the market center, A, to learn, and then also communicate, bring that culture back into the market center and get away from the Zoom world. Sorry, Zoom world, wherever that Zoom world is. That's kind of my reason for A, becoming an ALC member again, and B, one to chair the education committee. And that was good. And, just a couple of things to add to it. You know, for I don't know how many years now running, KW has been known to have like the best training, actually across all industries in the US. So not sure we've done the greatest job locally, right, of making sure that you guys know that. And so I think a big goal for John and I in the committee this year at least is to make sure, one, that you guys are aware of all the education that exists that's available to you. And then 2, to get your input for what you feel like you need, right? Like the education you get is going to be the foundation of success for your business. So this anything that gets planned for the committee in terms of education and training is for you. So please, 1, join committees, or at least come to the committee meetings, and 2, make sure you let us know what you feel like you need to know. Yeah, because me and Mike can't do it all, right? We both run our businesses, and I'll be honest with you, my business is gonna come first, my family comes first. So the more that I can get on our committee, the more easier it is for us as a community to kind of push that vision forward. And everybody take a little bit of the knapsack instead of the whole thing on our back. So please join us. We'd love to have you. That's
And the more say you have in what's coming into the market center by joining this committee, the more if you're involved, the more say you get in what education is being brought in.
Correct. Otherwise, we're just gonna ram it down your throats.
The next committee we are going to be talking about is the DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, with Christina and Ricky.
Oh.
So I think you're last.
She's gonna sit down.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Take a nap.
Follow that.
He can follow that.
I mean, you know, save the best for last.
Huh? Oh.
So Ricardo Burton here, I've been here a year and a half at KW.
A little over 3 years now. And we are working to do diversity, equity, and inclusion. So what that means is we're working to not only create a larger community for everybody, and for everybody to feel the love, to feel like everybody's got a place within the market center, but we're also going to be working on agents that are outside of the market center, because there is a trend right now where agents feel like they're, like you've been saying, they feel like they're left on an island. I've had 2 people within the past week reach out to me saying they're interested in coming over to KW just because we look like we have so much fun. And there's always something for everyone. And we're business minded. So, but when it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, we're not only talking about colors of people, we're talking about religion, we're talking about cultures, we're talking about sexual orientations, you know, we're talking about everything.
Diversity,
Kelly-
go ahead.
Keller Williams, if you don't know, one of their missions is to be the most diverse or inclusive company, real estate or otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, just looking around the room today, I mean, we have a very diverse background in regards to in this office, Mount Pleasant and West Ashley. And that's what we want to see. And we want to see more people in here. We want to see this room packed every day, every week. And when you come in, you want to be able to talk to anybody you run into and know that person and know where their background is, know why they started for real estate, and see how you can help them, how they can help you, and, you know, just be warm and welcome together. So obviously diversity, whether you're black, white, straight, you know, young, old, you know, we're all here together, and we're all here for one reason, is to, you know, obviously make money and make people happy and give people the help that they need in order to build their lives and dreams of owning a home.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, I have a goal of also getting us out into the community more, so the community is aware of what Keller Williams has to offer as an entirety, including our culture. So I have visions of going to events like we have our Latin festival every year. Maybe we have a table there. Huh? No, I don't have an ulterior motive. Stop it now. But just to have a table there, you know, so for people to come and ask us about, maybe they want to get into real estate, maybe they want to buy, maybe they want to sell, you know, or maybe they want to get connected with someone that speaks Spanish fluently. Well, we got Lysandra over here. So just to be a resource for the community as well, and let them know that, be present.
And if you guys have any questions, or if you need any help at all, obviously you can, there's people in here that will drop a dime in order to answer your phone and answer your text. I've done for many of you here already. So this is what everyone in the office would like to be able to do, is help anybody whenever you need. So, yeah, love it.
Thank you, guys. The Finance Committee will be run by our Jan Snow.
Numbers. Know your numbers, know your numbers, right?
That's exactly it.
The finance committee is always a challenging committee because most of us are people pleasers and the numbers don't always seem to be our favorite friends. However, I want to change that for y'all. I want you to contact me. Patty has already said she would like to work on the finance committee with me. Anyone else that is interested in that, I would love to work with you. If you have trouble understanding your P&L or you need help setting a P&L up, that is your profit and loss statement. So you can do all of these great things up here, this wealth account that we want everyone to have. How do you move forward? Can you do it in your first, you need to do it in your second year? Or do you need to plan on a third year to do your first investment piece? All of these are things that we would like to have you to do, and to do well, and to do confidently. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Please send me an email. Please pick up the phone and call me. I'm extremely happy to help you in any way that I can.
If you have questions that you want me to ask the Market Center about finances, where we are with profit share, items like that, I'm also happy to work on that when you're ready for the information. Yes,
Just a testimonial to Jan, we did our P and L through, she had a connection for somebody who runs their P and L. The whole company is based around KW's MREA book, so how it is in MREA, they can set up your accounts just for it, and she had a great connection, so she's a wealth of knowledge.
Can we get that? We have people asking who that referral was.
yes. And it's actually Texan House, now known as Know Your Numbers. They are a Keller Williams. They model everything against the Keller Williams MREA model. So when you get your profit and loss every month, it shows you whether you are in model and out of model. You pick up the phone and call them and they will tell you what they think you may need to adjust. You submit all of your documents by the 8th or the 9th, and they've got your P and L to you by the 15th for discussion. I have asked them to come in January and to do a class free, just about knowing your numbers and why it's important to have a P and L. And it is probably my husband, this is my husband, everybody, that's Maurice Snuff.
Hello?
He's an accountant. The best thing I ever did for him was to get somebody else to do my books.
We've been married for approximately 367 months. The real estate numbers far better than I ever dreamed.
So it's a wonderful thing to be able to do and to be able to know each month where you stand, because with money, every month we're playing red light, green light. Do we spend it? Do we keep it? Can we afford this? Are we ready for a new car? How far are we off of our goal? Can we eat? There are those months. So I want to help you all to get to this point of having your 6 to 12 months of financial security so that you can apply this model to your life and grow your wealth through real estate.
Love it. And I think anyone's done talking about how finance is the hardest committee, which just hurts our hearts, because you guys are all in the business to what? Make money. Should you know where it's going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
that's
that a
what-
hard thing?
No.
The reason we don't want to know where it's going is because it's got Jimmy and Linda. If you guys know Jimmy and Linda McKissick, they talk about DMD, disappearing money disease. So the reason we don't have a P&L is because we have that. We spend it so quickly that we don't want to know where it's at. So join this committee. If you don't have a P&L, you need to be on this committee. Simple as that. The next committee that we are going to be having is the Growth Committee with Renee and Owen. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Stick with me, guys. This is for you. Understand, these committees are for you guys. It's to make you guys have a better experience at this market center. It's not for the leadership team. It's not for them to stand up here. It is for you guys. It is so you guys are proud to be a part of this market center and they're excited to do this. Understand, I asked them to talk about this 24 hours ago. But this is for you. They're pouring into you. We are pouring into you. So you guys are super excited to be an advocate for this company. And you guys walk in and you guys can go build your life by design and everything that those first two missions say. That starts with these committees. So let's be excited about what they have to offer.
Thanks, Ben. So basically with the growth committee, I'm sorry, I'm Owen Costello, been with Keller Williams 2 years now. What we're gonna be in charge of is, like Ben said, it's gonna be a tough year / interesting year for real estate agents, and we wanna be a safe harbor. We wanna be a safe harbor because Keller Williams has better resources than any other company in our industry. I think it's the happiest place.
It's the happiest place to work, the best training.
Or like the Disney.
Right.
The real estate.
So, we should be shouting that on the rooftop. More people need to know about that. And our growth committee ties into the rest of the committees, we can push our finance committee, we can push the culture committee, the diversity committee to all these people to get them to join Keller Williams, which then when new people join Keller Williams, what do you get? You get profit share for that. So when you recruit people to our company, you can literally make money off of that. So it's just another way to make income and to grow the company, because as the company grows, it's gonna benefit all of us as well.
Yes, I'm Renee, from Keller Williams for about 12 years or so. And with the growth committee, I believe that it's gonna open more doors for us, more opportunities, for whatever we want. So Owen and I are really dedicated to making that happen for KW and would like for some of you to join us and network with us and help us to grow Keller Williams as a whole.
Yeah, our first meeting is gonna be, January 11th
Yes.
at 1 p.m. So if you're interested in being a part of it, just come see us. That's all we got,
That's
right?
all we got.
It's a very numerically pleasing
Yeah.
meeting.
January
One-
11th at
one-
1.
We're off to a good start.
And the magic thing about profit share
It's how do we make being a KW free? Somebody once asked Jimmy McKissick, they said, Jimmy, when he started at Keller Williams, Jimmy, how much you pay that company? And if you haven't heard him talk, he's got a thick Texas accent. He said, how much you pay that company? He says, oh, I pay them 25,000. Cap used to be a lot more. I pay them 25, but they pay me 120 in profit share. Let's become neutral on that. What's it look like for you guys to be making so much in profit share that we pay back to you guys covers your cap? Awesome. The next committee that we have is going to be the culture committee.
Yay. Sure. Hi, everyone.
Right? Shantae.
I've been with Keller Williams for about 3.5-ish years.
I'm coming on my head. 7 years, KW.
Wow, I didn't realize you've been here that
I
long.
know, right?
That's awesome. And so we were just kind of gonna chat about what culture at Keller Williams means to us. You know, we're very big in saying, you know, culture is the water in which you swim. For me, I realized that, and I was with a small mom and pop brokerage before this, had zero culture. No one cared about my growth or anything else. It was literally just, you know, close a deal. That's it. Figure it out, kid. And so at our holiday party last year, I was standing there and it dawned on me. I was like, you know, I'm in a room full of who should, you know, technically be my competition. And instead I'm in a room full of my absolute best friends and people that I call for. I mean, I'm looking around, I've called a lot of you for professional things, for personal things. Traveling with Keller Williams, I met someone that was in my market center who I knew of, but became my best friend. So, you know, like Keller Williams is just the culture. We are really all invested in this and we should all be.
Amen, right?
Right.
So I have a story and I am a crier. I'm a high eye. So if I cry, cry with me, okay? So I drive every day when I was going to Mount Pleasant office from Mount Corner. I mean, how many brokerages am I passing to get to Mount Pleasant, right? So why did I keep driving over there? I have two stories to share why. My first, walking in the hallway, like, okay, what am I gonna do? I run into Greg Flanagan and he says, what's your goals? And I said, I just want listings. That's what I was taught in the class. And he said, how are you gonna get it? I said, I don't know. I'm gonna go knock on doors. I'm gonna do whatever. He said, how many listings do you want? I said, 5. That's a good number. He said, how many signs do you want? No, he said, how many signs do you have? I said, oh, 1. And you know, Flanagan, he says, how the hell are you going to get 1? You got 1 sign. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think about it. He said, follow me. Now, I'm just gonna be honest, y'all, from Monk's Corner, I'm a lady and I got big old Flanagan, like, get in the car and follow me. I'm like, where am I going? So I followed him. I'm like, okay, I'm driving. We're down 41. I have no signal. I am like, this man is gonna kill me. He turned into a garage parking lot, like, he goes into this storage unit. And I'm like, I am serious. He takes me to the storage unit and you know Flanagan, he's in this big old Navigator, I'm in my little car. He yells out the car, what the hell are you doing? Come in here. I go and he gets this big old box and it is yard signs, big old frames, and he said, this is 6 frames. Go and buy you 6 signs and put them in this frame, and that way you're gonna be able to get those listings you want. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
and that's the culture of KW. And I have so many other stories that'll pull my tears out, and I'm trying to keep it together, but there's so many people that love you. You walk in the hall and they're like, what is your goal? I'm gonna help you reach it. What do you wanna do? I'm gonna help get you there. And that's what we wanna bring back to the market centers, both West Ashley and Mount Pleasant. We want people to walk away and get in their car like, I did not die. I'm motivated. What do I do next? And how do I give that feeling to the next person? So that's what we want to bring in culture. We want to make sure that your heart is pumping fast, but it's because you're excited. Your heart is pumping fast and you want to cry, but you're motivated. And that's what culture means to us. And we want to bring that same feeling to you guys.
I love it.
You'll be hard pressed to find a committee that has a better shoe game.
Right.
Well,
I'm like, let me recruit Ricky, we gonna.
Yeah, you gotta take Ricky shoe shopping, but yeah.
He does, he's only got the one.
I think you got through.
We got 3 more committees, and then I'm gonna leave you guys with a quick 5-minute thing that we learned again, but the third to last committee that will be run, it will be the social committee run by Sarah Picard and Desiree. And I think Desiree is on vacation, so Sarah's talking to that.
It all of me. Well, I can't worry, so you're all welcome. Okay, so my name is Sarah.
Oh, Desiree's talking.
Hey, welcome.
Except it looks like I froze. Oh, there I am.
We can just hear, I'll let her talk.
Okay.
But you know, if you don't know Desiree, Facebook, after Sarah's done talking, this is Desiree's face.
Yeah, so I have been with Coach now for a year and like a month. So pretty new, but it's been really great. Desiree and I got the chance to chat the other day. Like Ben said, we are gonna be on the social committee. So obviously, if you wanted to have a party with us, then you should definitely join the committee. A little bit more about what we want that to look like. Obviously, we are here to learn and to grow and to thrive together in our businesses. But because we are a family and we're creating that culture, we want to have a place where we can just celebrate. We have to be able to celebrate our big wins, our minor wins, and just have fun. So part of what we want to do is meet ideally monthly to plan a quarterly event for everyone in the company. We know that everyone is spread out throughout the low country. So it could look like something after bowl class. Maybe we celebrate with a happy hour. Whenever we're doing different, big events throughout the year, like we had the Christmas party, things like that. We really want to make sure that we're taking the time to get together and just have fun and not always have to talk about real estate. Because listen, I love real estate, but like it gets boring after a while, if in my opinion. So let's just use it as a chance to get to know each other more and to have fun, but like use it as a segue to be able to build culture and relationships within the community with one another. Desiree, do you have anything to add?
Love it.
Yeah, all that in addition to being able to help give back to KW Cares or any of the local communities, for instance, every year, many of you know I've done the Super Bowl squares for giving back to KW Cares. So that's going to be our very first thing that we'll be doing. So stay tuned for those squares to be coming out. And all the money will go to KW Cares. And yeah, so we just plan on things throughout the year to get together and bring us all back together as a family like we've been, so.
We will actually be meeting January 16th at 2 o'clock in the Mount Pleasant office. I'm gonna send everybody an email, so if you're interested or if you know somebody that's interested that really has a pulse and connected to people, we'd love to see people that maybe aren't here every day. How can we find a way to bring people into the office and into this community so that they can find their people?
Love it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Second to last one will be Sarah Waycaster, running the technology committee.
Okay, so I'm Sarah Waycaster. I have been with the company since 2016.
So, it's amazing to see all of you here. I mean, that is so exciting, and this meeting feels good.
Yeah.
So tech, what kind of company is KW?
The technology company.
Sells real estate.
Who happens to sell
Thank you,
real
Jim.
estate?
Thank you, Jim.
That
That's
is
perfect, because I just
exactly
said tech.
right.
What is it, Jeff?
A technology company that happens to sell real estate.
Love it.
So what are we using in our daily lives? Tech is critical for our careers, building our networks, building social. So from not only your websites, your, MLS, DocuSign, all of the things, Command, obviously, all of the things that we use on a daily basis to help our companies grow, our individual companies grow, to network with one another, to build our careers. You need the technology. So this is something that we will be working on for this committee. Would love help. I'm not the most tech savvy. I'm decent, but I don't know what Jay needs versus what Patty needs versus, so everybody's a little bit different. And what technology, we understand when we come to KW, what we have access to, and then what do we need to build? How much more can we learn? So that's what technology is going to be. So it's not just, you don't have to be the sharpest knife in the drawer to do technology, but together we will grow, and we will make sure that we are meeting every one of your needs and be a resource for you. Fortunately, we have Holly and Kristen, who are amazing, working with Command and a lot of other platforms that we use at KW. So we'll be relying heavily on their knowledge and background too. But please, I would love a small committee that we can work together. But please know that I'll be your resource for all things tech, for the needs, and then we'll either find it out or develop it or grow it to meet you as an individual where you are.
Love it. Tech helps us do a few things. One, it helps us make more money, and it gives us more time. And those are two things that we all want to do. We want to make more money and have more time to do the things that we love with people that we love. And technology isn't going to get rid of the real estate agent, but it will get rid of those who choose not to use it. So, love it.
That's got
So Scott has the flu, so the last committee is going to be the health and wellness, which he can.
That couldn't have made that one up.
I did, I can't make that up. So Scott will be heading to health and wellness. Obviously.
In 2024.
In 2024.
Yeah.
Health and wellness starts on January 1st.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna be doing, but obviously the focus is going to be not getting the flu.
Run.
They said you were supposed to start running tomorrow.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I won't
Oh,
be
yeah, there
involved
was
in that.
some
committee. There's 7 others that I'll join before that. Awesome. So I appreciate you guys all. I'm gonna leave you guys. I have 10 more minutes of your time, and I'm gonna try to make it 5 and give you 5 minutes back. So you can be like, he still got us out early. So the last thing that we talked about is as we go into a market in 2024, that's gonna be different. How many people, what is the difference between a passenger and a partner? In every real estate transaction, there's like 50 passengers. Okay, and a passenger to me is your lender, your inspector, your attorney. I can't spell. Again, I sent a screenshot of my notes to people yesterday. I can't imagine if they put that.
So you need to know how to spell attorney.
Attorneys, I'm just gonna put at. And how much, there's so many passengers on these real estate transactions that you guys just take along with you, right?
Yeah.
They sign up and you just bring them along with you. Okay? And in 2024, we need to switch these people to partners. And what is a partner? A partner is gonna offer you 3 things. So you're gonna go to these people that have been passengers along in your real estate transaction. And you're gonna ask them 3 things. Hey, Kristen, thank you so much. Last year we did 10 transactions together, and I really appreciated the service that you chose. But as we're going into a market that's gonna be a little bit more challenging, I want to shift this from a passenger to a partner relationship. So here are the three things that I'm gonna ask of you. Which one makes sense for us? The first thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna give you information that makes you richer. Are they pouring into you? Is this person that's on the passenger giving you information that is going to help you in your career? How are these passengers going to make you richer and be a partner? That's the first thing that they're gonna offer. Okay, so how is your lender gonna give you information that is going to make you richer? Okay. Number two, they give you leads. Okay, simple. I give you leads, you give me leads. I give you cookie, you give me cookie, right? And then the number three thing is they're gonna give you money. The sponsor, to better serve your clients, to pay for leads. So when you look at all of your passengers this year, go to them and say, how are we gonna get into a partner relationship? Because what I hate, but I don't hate, but I haven't learned to like, is that you guys are out there giving and giving and giving, and they're not giving you anything in return. Review your passengers, figure out how you're gonna turn them into partners and hold them accountable to doing that. Right? Eric Forney does a really good job of this. If you don't know Eric Forney, he has had a $200 million team in Indianapolis. He now works with Livian. He, every transaction keeps track. Who was the inspector? Who was the lender? Who is this? And then he throws a massive party at the end of his year for his clients. It's a charity event. And he says, hey, Owen, I'm doing that black tie event. I need $5,000. $2,500 is gonna go to XYZ charity. The other $2,500 is gonna go to decorations. And Owen's gonna say two things. Of course, thank you so much for the partnership. Or he's gonna say, dude, I don't have it in my budget this year. You're gonna say, that's totally fine. We did 30 transactions together last year. I'm gonna have to find somebody who will have it at the end of the year next year. And then you're gonna call somebody and say, hey, I'm separating my relationship, my partnership with my current lender. Can we get into a relationship? Here's what I expect, but here's what they receive as well. Do you have passengers with you or do you have partners? You have to have partners with you, especially as we go into a year that has a lot of question marks. This is the greatest year of real estate that we're gonna have, guys. We're gonna lose 2,400 agents, 240,000 agents. 50% of agents licensed this year will not be licensed this time next year. That is the stat that they're giving us. Everybody in this room, every single person in this room, because you guys are taking the steps to be in these rooms, will have their license. You guys will be taking market share, and you guys will separate. When the market goes back up, you guys are positioned. The last thing, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep talking. It was just so great. Jason Abrams for 8 hours, like the greatest thing in the world. The guy can teach knitting, I'm going. So he talks about the real estate market as a drawn bow right now. It's pulled back hard. Okay, there's so much tension in this bow. What's in this bow right now? We've got millennials who are about to reach peak home buying years. We've got baby boomers who are about to sell, who are gonna downsize. We've got everybody that's been on the fence at 8%. It's just filled. There's so much tension, and 20 other categories are in this bow. And at some point, interest rates are gonna hit 6%. What's gonna happen? And we are going to have a bigger rush than we saw in 2020 and 2021. Because there's more tension in this bow than there was in 2019. 2019 was a steady market, interest rates just dropped. And that's why people bought. What we now have is statistical tension. Everybody is in this, everybody is just waiting to get in the market. Every single person you talk to, just waiting to get in the market. And the second that those rates hit 6%, the madhouse. So make sure you guys are positioning yourself well, that when those rates drop 2%, that's what they think, 2% will be the trigger. You guys are positioned there and ready to go. How do we position ourselves the best?
By being in rooms like this.
And having and more listings. The more listings you guys have, the better you guys will be positioned. Hope this was beneficial. I tried, it was free, so. That's all I got.